Well, good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to the Leisure World Photography Club. Let's go ahead and get started. We got a lot to go over today. Oh, it's a little bit different concept. In the past, I've had the agenda at the end of the meeting. Today, I thought I'd put it at the beginning of the meeting.
Zoom isn't following you.
I thought I had this figured out. This is.
Now it is following.
Oh, Betsy's on.
Right now it isn't.
What's wrong?
It isn't following.
Is it lopsided?
I even. Supposed to be able to pick multiple things to share. I guess this is a little bit of a challenge for.
Hey, now it's matching what you've done.
Cool. Is it doing it?
Yep. It is. It went off here, it didn't go off there, but it's back. But now it's something different over here.
No, that's, I think that's it. I think we're good. We're just going to go with this, okay? Anyways, today's agenda. We are faltering with the welcome. Is the welcome showing on Zoom? Okay. We're going to have welcome, which is the one we're fumbling with right now. We're going to have a member recognition. We're going to go over the calendar. We're going to have a postcard from Michelle. We're going to have the theme contest winners. We're going to have the monthly and weekly challenges and activities recap. We're going to go over a field trip opportunity. And we're going to do the weekly challenge, which will be rain or food court too. And then our activity is going to be a video lesson. So put your seatbelt on. Here we go.
Can we do food court next week also?
Pardon?
Can we do food court next week also? Food court next week.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. The link will be up there. I'll mention it again. I haven't even post-processed mine, to be honest with you.
Well, I looked at it, but that's all I did.
Is Zoom still with us?
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's got that shared screen thing, which I wish I could get rid of. Yeah. Did I lose Zoom again? No, we're good. Okay, let's just keep it going. Even if it's okay, it got rid of that dual. It got rid of that dual thing. Okay, I hope there's a lot of people participating from home because that's the part we're working hardest on. So anyway, enjoy the show. Here we go. Make sure that everybody's signed in. Silence your cameras. Any guests today? Yes, Marion. Oh, yes, Marion. I'm sorry.
Jeff is my son who comes
every year from Eugene, Oregon.
My son Randy Prince, he takes wonderful pictures. Too bad he doesn't come to Leisure World. Well, he comes once a year. He's from Eugene, Oregon. You want to say something?
I love the weather. And the people here at Leisure World. It's nice.
Welcome, we're glad you're here. Any other? Yes.
Not to be outdone, but I have my daughter here from Oregon. So I'll let her introduce our daughter. Hold on just a minute.
I'm in Newburgh. My name's Haley. I'm the youngest of their three. This is my first time visiting. My brothers came before this, so I felt like I needed to come. And I have 4 children. So I escaped with the weekend.
Welcome, we're glad you're here. Doesn't like a little sibling rivalry to get people here. Any other guests? Any other guests? Okay.
I think someone just came in, though.
Are you guests? Are you joining us for the first time? Oh, cool. You're just in time. And make sure you log in. Welcome. Well, give us your name and banner number and your interest in photography.
My name's Jennifer Knudsen, and I'm from 406. And I just like to take pictures of nature and birds, etc., and want to learn more about it.
You called, I remember.
Gary Knudsen, matter 406, video.
Very good. Welcome, glad you're here. Have a seat. Any other guests? Okay, cool. Well, now we have a situation where the one on the screen is not following me. This is getting to be very aggravating.
They're the same.
Oh, are they? Okay. Maybe we're okay.
They're
Okay, cool. The one on the big screen is not the same.
No, it was.
Someday, Alice, all the way to the moon. Here's what's wrong. We got two. Someday, Alice, all the way to the moon. I guess we didn't have 2 copies open. Well, last time I tried to have multiple programs open at the same time. Okay, got the guest out of the way. This is our crew, people that keep the door open. Here's our communications. We have our own website. We have our own Google group where we communicate with one another. We have a presence on Flickr. We have a presence on Facebook. And we have a lockbox at 2312, which is your one-stop drop for all kinds of stuff. We have member recognition today. We'd like to recognize Walt Pincus, who submitted 4 photos to the Black and White magazine in their single image competition and actually had one placed. As a matter of fact, it's on page 90, Black and White magazine, issue number 151, currently available at Barnes and Noble for $12.95. And I'm sure that Walt would be more than happy to autograph that for you.
Actually, I've got 3 copies to hand out for free, but I forgot to bring them.
Here's a virtual copy just for you. That's all right. Anyway, he submitted 4 photos. These are the 4 you see here. And the one that was selected is the bath. Oops. Is the bath. Is that your own bathroom wall?
No, that's an old mansion in Hannibal, Missouri.
Hannibal. Home of Mark Twain. Way to go. It's an old mansion.
Yeah, I think it was a lumber baron or some such.
Well, anyway, congratulations. It's well done and it's an honor well deserved. Congratulations. Okay, here's what's coming up. Today was the theme contest, as you recall. You can tell by the list that's dwindling here that we're wrapping our season up. So, and you'll see that as we go along here. But there's a lot to do. Let's keep going. Here's where we are on the calendar. Today is February 12th. The monthly, well, we'll go into the monthly, weekly, and all that stuff. So anyway, that's just where we stand. Now it's time for a postcard from Michelle. Michelle?
Well, good morning.
Hang on just a second. There you go.
Okay. Good morning. I just want to make sure all of you have this little piece of paper. We're going to need this. What I'm going to do is introduce Arnold Newman to all of you and show you a couple of his photos, and then it's our turn to judge. So this is our little cheat sheet that we're going to be using. So I just wanted to make sure all of you have your copy of that.
Are we on live over there, Walt?
Yeah, it's matching.
What do you, oh, God. Thank you, God.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Can all of you hear me all right? Yes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead while he's catching up.
There we go. We're good.
Let you know this is for educational purposes. And can you move over this way? Okay, I'm blocking some people and I've asked a favor if they could kind of scoot over. I'm so sorry. You're not going to need to see anything as I introduce Arnold Newman, but this is all for educational purpose only. Just wanted to point that out. Arnold Newman is like a master of portrait photography, and he was the very first to actually begin putting the sitters in the environment. Before then, how the studio portraits were done were like passport pictures, the best I can explain. You go to a studio, you sit down, your head is in the middle, plain background. And Arnold Newman actually did that for a short while, 49 cents each. And of course, the photographer working in the studio would have to develop and then take the money from the person that came in. So just to give you a little bit of background about Arnold Newman, he was born in 1918 and died in 2006. 6 decades of work. He loved photography. Being a film photographer, he left us one of the largest archives, 15,000 photographs. They're all excellent. And he did more than just
Hang on just a second. Let me catch up to you.
Okay. And he has still lifes in abstract. He has books that are filled with his work. He has 9 honorary doctors, and the list goes on, internationally recognized. Oh my goodness. So there's so much that we can learn from him.
Hang on just a second.
Okay.
Let me catch up to you.
I could keep on talking if you wish. I will. I'll talk about his background. This is something that's on the slide. His father managed hotels, so he lived for a while in Atlantic City, then went to Miami. He graduated from the university. Well, no, he didn't graduate. He went to the School of University of Miami on an art scholarship. He wanted to be a painter, but this is right before World War II. He ran out of money, and so he went up to Philadelphia to work for a chain of art studios. When he was up there, he had some really great ideas how to take people's portraits. Went to his boss And he said, good.
We got it.
So he
We're in
went to his
sync.
boss and he said, why don't we switch up the lighting and make these people look like a Frans Hal painting? Well, Frans Hal was a Dutch Golden Age 17th century painter. And of course, his boss is like, oh, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Just go back, and what we're doing now works just fine. So at this point in time, Arnold is 20. And he goes and he borrows his camera from his uncle, goes out and he starts shooting. And his uncle, was very, very kind to him. Somehow or another, his portrait of photographs caught the eye of Alfred Stieglitz. Now, just some people that were here for the first postcard, we learned a little bit about Alfred Stieglitz. He was also married to George O'Keeffe. Maybe that might be where you've heard his name before. So Alfred Stieglitz says, I want to give you my gallery space and let you have your very first exposition. Oh my goodness, he's 23 years old. And a superstar of photography is, like giving him space for his first show. And Ansel Adams comes to his first show. So this kind of started his whole career in photography, which he did for the next over 60 years. One thing Arnold Newman wanted to be reminded about, because I don't want people to remember me. I want people to remember my photographs. And he was the father of environmental portraits. This is very common today, but he was the first one to do it back in 1938. And also in these photographs, they're symbolic. So there's hints about the person. So it's more than just plopping someone down in front of the scene and taking their picture. See what next one, please.
Are we together?
Let's
I gave you more room up. I backed up, so you have more room there.
All right, one thing is he used a large format camera and a tripod. That was his preferred method. He would later use a Polaroid just for checking the lighting. Remember, this is all in film, so that was the only way he could tell if he had his lighting right. Okay, next one, please. So the other thing about a really good environmental portrait, it has the capacity to tell a story. So what we're going to do now, next slide, please, is we're going to start looking at some of the design he used. And remember, he had training as a painter. So what we're going to see is how clever he was in incorporating some of what he learned in school. And here he is taking a self-portrait when he's 20 years old. All right, next slide, please. Okay. Who has heard of Danny Kaye? No, just hands. Okay, here we have Danny Kaye. And there's some really interesting things going on here, but one thing I want to point out on all of the portraits we're going to see is look at the background. The background isn't supposed to compete with the subject. Here we have Danny sitting on a ladder, very nice triangle, nice line. We have the lines in back from the stage. So all of that is things that he learned in school, but it's not textbook. It's just very creative and different. And the other thing you'll learn through looking through these, there's no standard format. Each and every portrait, I think 15,000, are all unique and creative and different. Next slide, please. Mm-hmm. So look at this sitter. She's relaxed. She's happy. Nah, this isn't the passport photos that he was taking. This is Diana Verlin. She was all about fashion. And look at the lines. And see, you have that cheat sheet. You can use that as we go through. But look at the lines. We have a line from the wallpaper that points directly to hers. The outfit, being she's all in fashion, her whole life she was about fashion. She carefully picked that. And where's this photograph taken? It's in her dining room. So we have the stripe of the wallpaper, the stripe of the chair. She carefully picked out her outfit. You can see the symmetry, the repetition, which would be the stripes. We use the rule of thirds. Newman did not use negative space, but he did in the next slide.
Okay.
Next slide, please. So we have, this is really a difficult thing for photographers to do, to use negative space. The black, see the black? That's what we would call negative space. This would not work if there was pattern or color or even white. I.M. Pei was a very, very famous architect, and there's lots of symbolism in this. Just a little background in I.M. Pei, he was the architect in charge of John Hancock Tower, Roosevelt Field, which is the 8th largest shopping center in the United States, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Grand Louvre in Paris. There's lots of international assignments he did. The glass in front of the Louvre, that was his design, and the list goes on.
Kennedy Library in Boston.
Yeah, Kennedy Library in Boston. Very good, thank you, excellent. So why, this is called minimalist composition. Look at the lighting up above. You know, that brings your light down below. He's actually in one of the monuments that he designed. And he was not flamboyant. He was very humble and very shy, even though he did these magnificent buildings and things around the world. And there we have him, you know, popping out of his little monument. You know, this is so unique and beautiful. And I just thought that would be a fun one to show you. Next slide, please.
Sure.
All right, everybody get out your paper. It's your turn. So here we have a timeless photograph. And does anyone want to comment, or would somebody like to just do raise of hands? Do you see the line? Yes? Okay. So we have the line and the booze. Some would even say the knife, and maybe perhaps even the spoon holding. All of that is pointing to the sitter. And then we have symmetry. Do you see symmetry? Okay. And there's no right or wrong. You know, photographs are subjective, so it's okay if you don't see these things. We have repetition. The negative space is more vignetting. I would not consider that to be negative space. We have rule of thirds, and the lighting is just, I think, very outstanding. Do you have something?
That shirt is distinctive because it's the tuxedo shirt that has the lines.
Yes, there you go. The lines in the shirt. That's excellent. Okay, so let's go to the next one, please. Now, this is one of his most recognized photographs. When I was a very young woman, I saw this the very first time, and I'm like, what kind of portrait is this? Well, let me break it down for you, because even though in the beginning this was rejected by Harper's Bazaar, he kept the copyright and he made tons of money, and this is one of his most recognized photographs. So we have the rules of third, you know, the dark gray, and then the white, you know, that's negative space. We have the piano lid, that's a really bold negative space. But if you look at that piano lid, you'll see a musical note, the B flat in reverse, very clever. And then we have this very strong line that goes straight to Igor Stravinsky, who's the composer. And we have many triangles. We have the triangle here, triangle here, triangle there, triangle there, even the triangle of his arm, the triangle of his shirt. We have this nice bar that goes directly to Igor Stravinsky. We have the parallel bar. This is so well done. So I just wanted to make sure that I kind of walked through, and now that I really understand line in art, this is just amazing. And oh, by the way, this was a cropped image. All right, next slide, please.
Sure.
So here we have Picasso, and I know this particular shoot had at least 57 portraits taken of Picasso. And so what Newman thought, and this is what he did, as long as you're your image is in focus, you can do whatever you want. In the 70s and 80s, photographers went through this thing, you only crop in your camera. Newman said, oh no. So he said, there's a lot of extra stuff going on out here, not necessary for this portrait. In the darkroom, he went and made this crop. And this is the image. I'm sure you've seen this image before. And he took it one step further. He took a black piece of paper, this is post darkroom, put it over his eye. So then he started playing with collages. And collages was brand new at the time. Now artists and photographers, they're all doing kind of collages and layers. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you. And if you have a chance to go back and look in a book, there's a really kind of abstract, almost surreal collage of Andy Warhol. All right, next slide, please. All right, it's your turn. Are you guys ready for something? Let me give you a little background about Robert Moses. He was an urban planner. He started his career in 1918. He's the one that brought all the bridges and the streets and roads around New York City together. He planned a lot of the buildings and that. So, and look at this photograph, 1959. This was not Photoshop. They didn't even have computers back then. That's real. So you can just raise your hand. Do you see lines that lead to the subject? Oh, okay. So
The red beam, right?
the I beam could be a line. The shore going to him could be a line. We also have symmetry. We have repetition. The buildings could be repetition. Negative space. Well, I think that blue sky is negative space. What do you think?
Yep.
It's making him pop. And he's standing up like, I know what I'm doing. I'm important. I'm in charge. And then we have the rule of thirds. And I think the lighting works really well. Next slide, please. All right. Does anyone know anything about Alfred Crook? Raise your hands if you do. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of background. When Newsweek offered this commission to Newman in 1963 to fly to Germany to take a photo of this particular person, he refused. He knew that this was a convicted criminal that was involved with the Nazi regime. This man used his factories to produce arms that killed people. He used slave labor. Arnold Newman did not want to do this. But anyway, Newsweek went back to him. He reconsidered, went over and took it. Now, this is a good one. This is his most famous colored photograph. Look at the factory in the background. There's some symbols. So he had this man sit on a platform, put his arms, laced his fingers together. Look at those bushy eyebrows. And he said, Alfred, just lean a little bit forward. Well, the hair stood on the back of Newman's neck. He saw the devil. That is exactly what he wanted to portray this man as the devil. What do you think? Do you
Nice
think
job. He did it.
He did it. All right, next slide, please.
House lighting certainly helps.
Yeah, the lighting is greenish cast. Oh, yes. And the lighting on both sides of his head. And it wasn't until he leaned forward that we got the shadow in the middle. Yeah. So anyway, environmental portrait, this really works. So I thought we should bring some Southwest in. Would anyone like to comment on the photo on the left? So, okay. This is Frank Lloyd Wright. Some would say the blueprint gives us a hint about him, even if you didn't know the man's name. The negative space works really well, has him stand out. And as you go through your sheet, you can see how creatively this is so different. This is so different than all the other photographs we've used. And here on the right, anyone want to share their thoughts about George O'Keeffe? Want me to go ahead? I feel like I'm taking your turn. Okay, so this is just me, okay? I look at her blue jacket And then I see the blue skies. I see this frame of canvas behind her. Even if you didn't know who this woman was, you would say, well, she's probably an artist. And then we have the line from her easel coming down perfectly to her head. Georgia was also known to put skulls in her paintings. She would paint the topography and the blue clouds. There's so many layers of symbolism in this particular painting. Yes.
Color on her head is the silver and brown, the same as above her.
Yes, do you see that? It's silver and brown in her hair, the same as the skull above her head. Yes, I didn't see that. That's very nice. Okay, so next slide, please. So we have a depiction of two different sculptures. The one on the left, you know, you get his face, very well done. Now, this is George Segal. I want to give you a quick little funny story. He would borrow friends, neighbors, family as models, and then they plaster of Paris and then plop these sculptures like in a cafe or down in the train station or in a park. And so he was kind of fun and whimsical. Now this particular portrait, you have the odd number, the triangle, and I'm going to give you a little assignment. Across the way, there is a portrait, I guess you could say it's a portrait, of a sculpture and a young man. And I saw this, and then I saw one of the photographers work across the way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is George Segal reenacted over there. And I thought it would be really fun to go on a treasure hunt and see if you can find that photograph. Next slide, please.
Mhm.
All right, this is the last portrait, and I want you to look at the beautiful lighting. And when you look at his face, there's no question about the discipline, and he's in charge. This is Leonard Bernstein, his score sheet, musical sheet in front, the line of his baton going to his hand, to his elbow, up to his face. And then your eye travels to the light again. So it's really great in how this photograph and the lighting, your eye just moves around. And there's a lot of symbolism in that particular slide as well. So in summary, a great environmental portrait needs to tell a story. So watch out for your backgrounds. Arnold Newman did not believe there were any set rules in a good portrait. He said, go out and create, go by the seat of your pants, and then, like enjoy and have fun. So I want to thank you very much for your time today, and I hope I gave you some fun ideas to try when you go outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes. That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Michelle.
You're welcome.
And once again, if you have any ideas for a postcard or a fun fact, let us know. Let's see here. I am so lost. Are we back on track?
Yeah, you have to finish. within a theme.
Are we together? Oh, my God. Okay, so today, as you know, we had the theme within a theme contest. I wanted to give a great big thank you to 14 photographers and 16 volunteers that helped put the 2022 theme together. And the winners are, envelopes, please. First place, Children Enjoying the Street Fest by Ruth Kay. Second place, Steampunk by Jan Kelly. Third place, Arrivals by Jane Page. Honorable mention, Street Art by Jean Hamilton. Honorable mention, Stars and Stripes by Maureen Granma. Congratulations to all the winners. Well, wait, there's more. As you know, as I hope you know, the theme for 2023 is rocks. Now, if you can't find any rocks with the time you spend in Arizona, I have absolutely no sympathy for you. So I expect 100% participation next year. All right, but we always select the next year while we're at this meeting. So today we're going to pick the 2024 theme. So 2022 is street scenes, 2023 is rocks, and 2024 is going to be decided here today. So the first candidates are the ones that were selected by your board members. Art in public. This is if you're walking down the street and there's art, and it's art in a public place. Normally, we don't allow pictures of art to be entered with your name, but in this case, what we're talking about is public art that's in view of the public. Like if you're like Gene Hamilton's street scenes, where he had the graffiti on the walls, that type of thing of a public building. Yes.
It could also be dancers, theater.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not just graphic arts.
Not just graphic.
Dancing arts. Good. I'm glad you clarified. Yes.
And also indoors, such as in churches, cathedrals, auditoriums.
As long as it's public, indoors or out,
Yep.
any art. That's a good clarification. Good for you. Okay. Black and white. I think that's self-explanatory. Community. It could be leisure world. It could be community garden. It could be anything that gives the feel of being part of a community. Glass. At first I thought, gee, did we have that a couple of years ago? But I looked back and it was reflections back then. And some of the reflections happened to be glass buildings. But in this particular case, the topic is glass. 6 glasses of water filled with different liquids at different fullness, or a mirror, anything glass. It's wide open. It could be a glass building. It could be any number of things, anything that's glass. Harmony, anything that gives the impression that we are one group. It's a little bit.
It's an election year, you probably can't use it.
Yeah, it's not going to work this year, is it? Okay. Landscapes in nature. This is not like a landscape of a city. This is a landscape in nature. Has to be trees and forests and streams and lakes and creeks and stuff like that, mountains, and it's a landscape in nature. Light. Anything that, I would say if the subject is going to be light, there's going to have to be something that really, like a beam of light or maybe a rainbow. Light is the subject. So that whatever that means to you, I would think that it's a well-lit situation. Use your imagination. It could be a lot of different things. Lines. Oh, we know all about lines, don't we? Could be railroad tracks. Could be anything where lines is the topic. It could be the border fence. A close-up of the border fence with all the slats, and those would be lines. Anything that's lines, it conveys the message of lines. But don't forget, it's a group of 5 photos, that have the same sub-theme. Looking up, this is good. Just look up and take a picture of what you see. 5 of those. Once upon a time. This is almost like a storybook. Use your imagination on that. Seasons. Could be 1 season, could be 4 seasons. Small world. Let your mind play with that. Soft. Talk about wide open. A baby's bottom. Hair. Pillows. Dogs. Soft. Things that are soft. Tracks. Bear tracks, railroad tracks. Bloody footprints. Tracks. Are there any more suggestions from our members? Let me get to that.
Do you have another screen of those?
No, but I can add things.
Well,
Where's Mary? Mary's old. I know I'm trying to get to where I can type.
yeah, we see the wasp. It's making tracks.
Let's see here. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do here. Let's do. Are we sharing? We're not sharing right now, are we? Oh, stop.
No, as usual, my Wi-Fi has decided to quit. It seems to do it regularly once a week in
Oh.
the middle of our meeting.
I'll admit Shelley. I wonder how long she's been sitting there. Okay, now let's do this.
Oh, maybe he's all done with everything.
Share screen. Excel. Here we go. Share. Okay, here's what we have so far. Ruth, you have another one?
Yeah, and I put this one in every year and I'll do it again. Eating, and that doesn't mean pictures of food, it means pictures of something or someone eating.
Oh, that sounds good.
Next. Next.
Choosing for ideas for what?
Come on, people. This is your opportunity. How would you like to suggest something? And by God, that's the one that was picked for 2024. I'll give you a chance because I want you to look at all the ones that are being offered already. We're not sharing again?
I'm still getting your Wi-Fi back on.
Yeah, but the one above, let's do a stop share.
His whole Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the one that's right in front of you. Okay, at least you're seeing what I see now. Okay.
Bob,
Yeah.
can we do it color or is that too easy?
Are you sharing it, Walt?
Waiting to get in.
Oh. Sorry.
Oh, that's.
Have any ideas?
Is there any way to know
See,
what?
today was the one that I wanted to put my giraffe picture on. So I suggested it last year, for this year, and
Bob,
Yeah.
red,
things rain, pictures of the rain.
Yeah, we could do that. Hang on.
And
oh, just color, okay, color.
my copy,
Yeah, that red would fence them in too much.
on my computer.
One in the waiting room. That must be Walt.
That's Walt. There's just people's faces, nothing else.
Okay, what else?
Water.
I think we had water.
Yeah, we had water pretty recently.
Is that the one with
I didn't
the-
bring last year's list, but
Yeah, we did have it.
Moving water, yeah.
I remember because it was a member who passed a little shortly. But the winner was a guy carrying a bottle of sparklets.
Yeah, that was Jake, yeah.
Yeah, Jake, yeah.
Love.
What else? Love? Did somebody say love?
Yeah.
It's a good one. What else? Is that enough?
Yep.
Yes, that's enough.
Yep.
I don't want anybody to feel left out is what we're trying to.
That's right. We're gonna have one more.
Now, this is the hard part. You can only vote once, okay? So I need somebody to count for me, to double count. All right, Ruth, come up. Okay, first up is art in public. Wait a minute, everybody have one in mind right now, because you can only vote once. I'm gonna go unless we see a hand.
Okay, this is 0.
Zeros, that's okay. Black and white.
0,
Color.
3,
Community.
2,
Eating.
2,
It's all right. Glass.
2,
Harmony.
0,
Landscapes and nature. There we go. Oh,
6,
oh. Light.
1,
Lines.
2,
Looking up.
3,
Love.
1,
Once upon a time.
1,
Seasons.
2,
Small world.
0,
Soft.
0,
Tracks.
0.
Well, you usually have to have a second and third ballot, but in this case, we won't.
Well, maybe people might want to vote if you took like the top 3.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah, Mary just said, did you get the votes for Zoom? The people on Zoom?
There's 2 3s,
Oh,
1 6.
yeah, if you took the color, the landscape and nature and the.
Well, we can do it the way you're saying it. We could have a second round real quick.
Well, just those 3 though.
But we need the Zoom people.
Yeah, did you count the Zoom people walked, or did they have a chance? I don't know.
Look
That's-
in the chat, see if we put it in.
Nothing in the chat.
Thank you, Walt.
Bob asked them to put it in the chat.
Does anybody attending by Zoom have a comment? Unmute yourself and say so. If you're on Zoom and you would like to comment on the selection of the 2024 theme contest,
one of
unmute
us-
yourself and say so.
One of us voted for landscapes and one of us voted for what? Color.
I can't hear, can you?
One voted landscapes and one for color.
Landscape and color,
Just
one
like
each.
the room.
Thank you. Ooh. Okay, the voting is now closed for this round. Let's see what we get. that a good cutoff right there?
Will you give us an example of landscapes in nature?
Michelle? What-
Okay, landscapes in nature could be anything that has to do with nature, but not your backyard or your gardens. Landscape in nature is just wide open. It could be beach scenes. It could be, you know, like
Maybe like a
mountains.
sand castle, or
It could be flowers, yeah, wildflowers. you
could it be
know.
a sand castle?
Waterfalls, it could be.
Probably a sandcastle. I don't really think that so much as nature, that's more man-made. But
Thinking of something big.
It could be
Naturally
waterfalls, it
occurring.
could be mountains. it could be
Waterfalls,
streams.
mountains.
Yeah, nature tells you it has to be something natural. Nobody made it like a man made,
Okay,
a man has to make a sandcastle,
yeah.
or a human being. Yeah, there can be no human involvement. This is strictly the way God left it.
It sounds challenging.
Is everybody okay with that, or should we have another vote off? Okay, landscapes and nature is the winner. Thank you for participating.
We have to vote.
No, we all have, the people that vote for other stuff, we have to take a whole
Yeah,
vote.
so you take a vote and then.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I get you, yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay. So the Zoom people were included in the first count. So now, yeah, you're right. It could go strictly, it could go the other way. It could go to looking up all of a sudden. Okay, how many for landscapes and nature? Okay.
I got 16, I think there's not enough left to count.
Any Zoomers for landscape in nature?
Yeah, 2 here from Sharon and Keith for landscapes
Color.
and nature.
Landscape look is okay with me.
2 here for color. That was 2 for color from here.
It's up to 16. They're not going to catch it.
Zoomers, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, we can too.
Okay,
and we voted 2 color.
okay. How
And
many
we,
color?
and we'll vote 2 for landscape.
How many for color?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't think he's hearing us.
6, okay.
Plus 2 on the phone. 8.
Looking up.
And we chatted too.
Yeah.
5.
Say it again.
Any Zoomers for looking up?
You got somebody in the waiting room? Walt, someone's in the waiting room.
I got it. Okay. I think we have landscapes and nature. Okay, we're in agreement.
You know, if you call it natural landscapes, that makes it more clear.
What is it?
I'm taking over from Charlene, Bob.
Okay, thank you.
Instead of saying landscapes, nature, you say natural landscapes
Yeah, we can do that.
and say not including anything man-made. That's because otherwise you're gonna get, you know, like a scene with one building in it, a barn or something. Nobody will.
Bob, I don't think you should change it to natural. Natural is a funny kind of word. I think landscapes in nature says it better than natural. Natural's got lots of different meanings.
I can write a 1-paragraph description to go with it. Yeah, I'll clarify when I publish it to the group.
Okay, just not including anything man-made, that's all.
Okay. Okay, are we live again, Walt? Is everything okay? Okay, the weekly challenge recap. Today is rain plus food court. Next week, there's no challenge because of a guest speaker. The 26th is pieces, Reese's Pieces, or whatever other pieces you come up with. We'll talk about March 5th in a few minutes. March 12th is a guest speaker via Zoom. No challenge. And March 19th is the Spring Art Show. We're dark because of the Spring Art Show, so there's no challenge. So actually, there's only two weekly challenges left, February 26th and March 26th. It just worked out that way.
What about turquoise?
That's what I said, there's just two left, pieces and turquoise. It just worked out that way. There's two left, March 26th and February 26th. Weekly activities. Today we've got a video lesson. Next week, guest speaker. The following week is another video lesson. Field trip we'll talk about in a minute. Zoom. We just had that. Okay. The monthly challenge for February continues. Favorite food. I'm surprised we don't have more entries already. And next month is music for the month of March. Here's all the favorite food we have so far. We have 6, 3 from Bob and 3 from Michelle. Let's get those favorite food photos in the box, okay? Okay, on March 5th, there's an event that we're going to tie in with. It's 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's only on the weekend. And it's such a unique opportunity that we're going to have this in lieu of the meeting. There'll be no regular meeting on March 5th. We were able to get a group rate, $5 off, so it's $20 a ticket. And the plan is that we will shoot from 9 to noon, shoot, shop, and snack, then lunch at the Nook. Somebody could pass these up for me.
I can do that for you, Bob.
Oh, great. Thank you. Here's the menu from the restaurant that's been selected. It's called the Nook. It's called the Nook. There are no crannies. All right, the event's being held at the Gilbert Regional Park. Years before, it was held up in North Phoenix, which was quite a journey. And it was always on my bucket list to do, but I never quite got around to doing it. But now it's right here in our own backyard. So why not join in and get some great photos. It's a great photo op, and we'll have a great time. Now, the problem is that to get the group rate, I have to buy the tickets all at one time. So here's the deal. You had to do the same thing with the Desert Botanical Gardens. You had to get your check to me before the event, and then I pay for it with the club's money. So here's the deal. If you want to participate, we have sign-up sheets. I can't understand, this went so well in dress rehearsal. And here we are live and flop. Okay, here's the sign-up sheet. I'm going to put 2 of them out for you. It's got a place for your name, how many tickets you want. Ignore the paid column unless you're handing me money, and I don't want anything until The paid column is just for me, so just leave the paid column for me. You want lunch at the Nook, yes or no? You want a carpool, yes or no? If you're going to carpool, can you drive, yes or no? Do you need a ride, yes or no? And your phone number. So pretty straightforward. The $20 a ticket. So hey Bob, can I give you a check for $20 and bring my wife? No. $20 a ticket. Yes, Randy.
I'm just curious, if we can't attend on the 5th and we want to get the group rate, are the tickets with the,
Has to be bought at one time.
but it has a
At the
date on
gate.
it.
Huh?
It has a date on it.
Yeah, it's just for our group.
It's just for our group.
Yeah.
You can't get the,
use it on Sunday.
you
That's
can't,
what I was
yeah.
trying to do.
No, you can't do it.
All right.
See if you can change your plans. It's a big deal.
It's a
All
lot
right.
of fun.
All right, here's one for that side of the room. Here's one for that side of the room. And don't worry, if you're on Zoom, I'm going to put the same thing in a survey and you'll be able to do it online. So don't worry about it if you're not in the room. Being in the room is not necessary. I'll put out a survey to the group and you'll be able to put that same information, enter that same information online, okay? Here's some photos that Charlene took when it was held up in North Phoenix. There are all kinds of athletic competition. There's a who wouldn't enjoy a keeper toss? No.
Are kilts mandatory?
No, you do not have to wear a kilt. Commando kilts are not required. Okay, but there's car shows, there's games, is it cape? It's not caper. Caber. A caber toss. Who doesn't enjoy watching a man throw a telephone pole as far as he can throw it? There are women's tossing hay with a pitchfork. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff. There's an English car show. There's just all kinds of stuff. If you want to pay extra, there's a whiskey tasting. If you want to pay extra, you can get a tattoo. You've always wanted that tattoo on your butt. Now's the time. I'm sure kilts are welcome, but they're certainly not required. Anyway, it's a fun day and a chance to be with your club, and what a great opportunity. And we're not going to compete with ourselves. You're either at this event or there's no meeting that day. You can, if you got company from out of town and you can't do anything about it, then fine, go enjoy your company and be with your company. Take the day off. But it's a fun event. I'd like to see a heavy participation, but I got to have your money, and I got to have your money by February 28th. At the close of business, 5 o'clock on Monday the 28th. That's the absolute deadline. Okay? Enough said.
Can we put checks in your Dropbox?
That's exactly where you're supposed to put them. Atta girl. Thanks for bringing that up.
When were we going? What time are you leaving?
We're gonna be at the gate at 9 o'clock. So
So we have to.
I would leave home about 8:30 or so, 8:15. I'd leave home about 8:15. Get there at court. I always plan to arrive 15 minutes early, no matter where I'm going. I always try to get there 15 minutes early. So I would leave at 8:15, even though it's in Gilbert. Because we need to collect out front, gather as a group out front, and then I'm going to buy the tickets. I'm going to try to buy them in advance. That's my goal, like I did for DBG. I bought them in advance and I was able to give the tickets to Jan, who passed them out at the gate. But if I can't do it in advance, then I will be the first one in line to buy the tickets for the group. But to get that group, I have to pay all at one time. So put your checks in the lockbox at 2312. If it's cash, put it in an envelope with your name on it. Otherwise, I won't know who the credit belongs to.
Who do we write the check to?
Leisure World Photography. Marion, you could give this presentation yourself. That's great. Those are great questions. Write the check out to Leisure World Photography Club. It's an excellent point. In U.S. funds, please. U.S. funds. No, it's important. It's a lot of Canadians. Yeah, U.S. funds. Lockbox 2312. $20 a person, $40 a couple. Lockbox 2312. no later than Monday, February 28th at 5 p.m. Okay. Is Zoom must be over there? Is Zoom the same as what's on the screen? Oh, do you need to refresh your screen once in a while, Walt? Is that what it is?
He's deciding it doesn't want to do Wi-Fi.
Is the Cox Wi-Fi jumping in on there? Because sometimes that does that, and it knocks yours
No,
out.
it's simply, the whole laptop says, I'm not gonna do Wi-Fi.
Oh.
It's a conscious decision on his computer's part. Do I need to let you in again?
We gotta get away from that dial-up. That's all it is.
There was a frightening statement.
Is that AOL?
I think it's a couple of hamsters on a wheel. I'm not sure.
Well, maybe the Wi-Fi over in that little corner where you are is good.
No, it's my laptop saying, I'm Windows. You need to shut me down once a week so that I can refresh. I think. It's the laptop's fault, not the Wi-Fi's fault. Might as well just give up on this. Not hold up the meeting.
No luck, Walt?
I don't think so, no. I'm sure external visitors are probably doing fine, it's just me.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the photo weekly challenge. Let's start with food court 2. And we'll start off with Kevin. Kevin, do you want to give us a commentary or want me to just show the pictures? Oh, I know what's going on. There we go. So the Zoomer's not with us, right, Walt?
They probably are, it's just my laptop isn't with us.
We were hoping that the Zoomers are still with us. We can't see or hear you, but we're hoping that you're there. Okay. I'm just going to show these. Wish there was someplace to hide this bar. Oh, I know. Here we go. That's hunger invoking. Charlene's famous chicken salad. Those are delicious. The king cake. Apple turnovers. Yeah. Yes. He's here for the Phoenix Highland Games. Okay. Very nice. You guys take care of it for me. I can't hold the mic and do it at the same time. Skip King. Skip, you want to comment or you want me to show him?
I'll just run through them. It's fine.
Okay.
Anybody guess what that is?
Sugar.
That's the top of that delicious pie.
Oh, good for you. Yeah. It looks like a moonscape. How clever. Yeah, it looks like a moonscape. That's a great perspective.
I think they were all gone.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to Rain.
I was afraid to send you any because I didn't want to get other photos in there.
Don't worry about that, April. We always got your back. All right. Maya, are you here? No, if she is, she's on Zoom. This is Rain. That's gorgeous. Maya, if you're out there in Zoom land, you're getting lots of oohs and ahs. Well done. Michelle, do you want to comment?
Yes.
Thanks, April.
I was in a hiking trip in the Baltics and it was chucking down rain and we ran into this place to get refuge from the raindrops. And so this is called Raindrops of Tears. And it's a statue. Okay, next one.
Was that outdoors? Because I can see it. Looks like there's raindrops down here.
Yeah, it's outdoors. It was raining in the statue outdoors.
Well, that certainly qualifies for the.
And I really like the line of the umbrella going to the child's head. I just, that's one of the design features that you look for. And what you can't see up above is the person on top of the stairs is carrying an umbrella as well.
Yeah, there you go. That bar is just really. Okay. There's no place to hide this thing. It isn't in the way.
It's better.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Paula. Paula must be in Zoom land. We hope you're there, Paula. Oh, there she is. You want to comment? Give her the mic. She's around the bend.
I'm glad to be in person.
Yeah, how about that? Welcome.
This is rain coming down our cabin in Cowcroft, New Mexico.
Can actually see it falling.
I can see it falling. Seeing a rainstorm coming in. We're in the Rockies.
Okay.
Another rainstorm coming in. Was a little concerned about this when we were about 13,000 feet, and a couple of miles up from the tree line. So I snapped some pictures and went down
Oh, this is on the Rhine. I was on one of those day boats that stopped at every village going down the Rhine. And this is passing Lorelei Point, and it was raining really hard at that point. I didn't care. I was there. I loved it. Coming down the North Kaibab Trail, we started in the snow on the north rim, and by the time we hit the middle trail, it was raining to the bridge across one of the canyons. This is eastern Arizona from a viewpoint of a rainstorm looking north. And this was our Sound of Music tour in Salzburg. Fortunately, we're on a bus. It was raining. That's okay. We were there. We loved it. And where were we? Oh, this is up on Doyle Saddle at Mount Humphreys. Doyle Saddle is about as far up as I've ever gotten on that mountain, and rain is one of the reasons I wasn't going to hang around.
Beautiful. Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just looking at that vertical line,
Yeah.
including the rain.
You can see that. You can see the rain is falling right here.
And it lines
Anytime
up-
you see the cloud connecting to the ground, that's usually a sign it's raining.
But I mean, it lines up with.
Yes. You mean this line right here?
Same line.
Yeah, you're right. Nice job. Thank you. Okay, who's next? Bruce K.
I didn't have my clouds with me last time.
Well, we're going to show both rain and clouds. Maybe there'll be some combo shots. Who knows? Yeah, Ruth, I don't know how, but her clouds got left out last time, so I told her she could show them this time.
Most of you know, Tom and I live really close to Lake Michigan and a beach called Ottawa Beach. And we go there a lot for the sunset, lots of people do, and or picnics up around the channel to watch the boats. So I have several pictures of Ottawa Beach. Love this one.
Perfect light.
That's Big Red, that's our lighthouse, known as Big Red. And then one time we were there, and I don't think we brought supper. It's a good thing because this big shelf cloud was coming across Lake Michigan, and the sand started blowing, and so it really stung when it hit you, and lots of people were running up the beach, and it was quite eerie. Yeah. Another shot as it came overhead. And this one happens to be a lake in Wisconsin that we took a boat ride on. Some cloud. And I think that's gotta be Lake Michigan somewhere.
Gorgeous.
Oh, I love this picture. I took this from a boat in the Inside Passage on the way to Alaska, or in Alaska, probably.
Excellent. Keep the mic. Thank you. Ruth again, this time with rain.
You can't see the rain here, but it is raining. We were in Ketchikan, and we decided to take a hike when it was just misting and it started to rain. But anyway, I just love this particular picture.
You can see the leaves are wet.
Yeah. And this is Juneau, I think. And it started raining, and this was taken from the cruise ship. Oh yeah, this is Tom in the rain when it started falling. I love that tree. Oh, another shot from the cruise ship when it started pouring. Not even any color shows, it was so rainy.
Are those birds or fish or?
I think birds.
Little icebergs.
Okay.
Oh, and this is just an aftermath of the rain.
Gorgeous.
And this shot, it has a story with it because we were walking down the beach with the dog and on Lake Huron. And if I hadn't run up ahead to take a picture, I wouldn't have known that the rain was coming. We were a long ways from our motorhome. So I said, Tom, we gotta go.
Yeah. That worked out well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Rainbow.
This is Lake Powell. And we rode along the shore there in Maui. And this, trying to find lots of really cool pictures of the rainbow that was showing up there.
Yeah.
Are all these photos taken from a phone?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I like this one too. This is a photo shoot we took.
Yeah, that's the day we went to the Phoenix Museum. It was raining.
And it was.
I remember it well.
And I ran out there in the rain to get this because it was so the best.
A lot of photographers say, "Oh my God, it's raining. We can't take any pictures." Absolutely, you can. That's a very good time to take pictures. I think that's it. Thank you. Diane has one shot here.
Oh, you don't have to come back, April.
That's fine.
We finally got to California for Christmas. It rained all the way there, it rained the whole time we were there, and I caught this rainbow.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Okay, now we are going to stop our recording because it's time for our instructional video, and we cannot share these.